ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ across the globes of UK ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਮੇਰੀ ਪਿਆਰ ਭਰੀ ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਨਮਸਕਾਰ ਆਦਾਬ jumbo sana and welcome again to another concept of healthy cooking but going to be a bit naughty but nice ਪਰ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਕਿ how do you increase your brain endorphins and feel good factor because UK ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ winter ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ depression ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ and I'm working with so many depression cases bipolar conditions maniac depression in my healthy living show ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹਰ ਬੁੱਧਵਾਰ ਹੁੰਦਾ with Sikh channel and I have promoted a lot of good foods in that but there's another issue which is a missing link which is actually a black chocolate or dark chocolate which is very important for the well-being of the mind. So we are working on a concept of how do we keep our brain happy or in a happy mode. One, with spiritual beliefs and you know doing meditation, Vaheguru da mantra. Dusre tarike obviously khuraak, stodgy carbohydrate khuraakan loਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ depress ਕਰਦੀਆਂ because it slows down the body's digestion and you do not get good nutrition from it. So चल रहे हैं आप on a good concept which is actually a dark chocolate cocoa cake जिसके ऊपर dark chocolate पावांगे and in fact I've actually brought a lot of people with depression out from into a happy medium by trying to give them the good foods and the dark chocolate. Dark chocolate also very good. Je kise nu diabetics nu bahut craving ho rahi hai then go for an 80% dark chocolate. I'm not saying that you must. I'm just saying to kill your taste for cravings of sugars, try to have a dark chocolate. Just one bar, nothing more than that. So chal rahe aj di jehdi recipe hai badi shandar hai aur my Makhan Singh welcomes you all. Either dekho muskrat, he's always happy because he does have a bar of dark chocolate. For all you young kids out there, anything that you're having in dairy milk chocolates heavily saturated with fats and sugars really demoralize your energies or tusi thakke hambe filage. So he's my nice plumpy Makhan who does have dark chocolate. So message out to the children and the mothers, try to how do we stop diabetes and blood sugars is trying not to promote huge amounts of white sugar sade diet which option hegi meri 1970 this recipe jehdi aap de samne pesh kar rahi ਉਹ ਹੈ healthy concept of dark chocolate cake ਚੱਲ ਰਹੇ ਹੁਣ ਔਰ ਜਿਸ ਮਾਤਰੇ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਪਾਂ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਪਾ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਦੱਸਦੇ ਜਾਵਾਂ ਆਪ ਜੀ ਨੂੰ ਪਹਿਲੇ ਤੋਂ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਪਹਿਲੋਂ ਪੈ ਰਿਹਾ ਆ ਕਿ 1.5 ਕੱਪ ਚਿੱਟਾ ਆਟਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕਿ plain flour ਹੈਗਾ very simple it's a blind recipe literally so fast it works that even ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ involve ਕਰੋ because stop bringing food and confectionaries and pastries and cakes ਬਾਜ਼ਾਰੋਂ and what is happening with that is the amount of E flavors added to preserve foods which are you know baked is seriously affecting children on a mental level because E flavors they which the government has passed the colorants can be used it won't kill it may kill you know in the sense that children are reacting to these colors any way to add volume or good amount of air or hawa cake de which everything needs to go through sifting that means chanana jina tak chanonge nahi you're not going to create good amount of air so chal rahe hain on that the next note is 2 cups of sugar will go into this because I'm doubling my portion. So again, I'm actually going to shift chani hai my cocoa. The amount of cocoa that's going into my recipe, I just must check, is 3 tablespoons. So I'm going to make 6 to double this up. And when you're doing this, all you need to do is this. 1, apne dabbe de naal wash it down. 2, brush it over. 3, again. 4, because cocoa powder de which guilty on the I'm going to put it through the sieve. Very quick recipe jab tak mera idro chal raha hai oven. So that's actually going to be 1 tablespoon to double my portion santo. So you can half this matra. How do you level it out? I'm going to take a knife upside down and I'm going to skim it over my knife over the baking powder to make sure I get the right amount. ਪਾ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਹੁਣ ਆਪਾਂ a pinch of salt. So I'm going to add 2 pinches of salt. Vanilla essence, very good vanilla essence is very important. 1 teaspoon, so I'm going to add a tablespoon. Kya baat hai. So beautiful vanilla extract. Really, really beautiful smell. Always use a good quality vinegar, because this is the one that's actually the rising, the thing that's going to help the cake. So 2 tablespoons of white vinegar. I'm going to make sure that mere sare condiments dry hoye hon. And they should be mixed while they're dry. Very quick recipe. Ede vich bachchiyan nu bhi involve karo, because until you don't involve the children, unhanu pata nahi lagega how simple these things are to make at home, and not to rush out for things that are not safe for your well-being, है ना. 2 cup ਆਪਾਂ ਪਾ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਪਾਣੀ. So you can use a whisker, electric whisker, to give it a good whisk. If you don't want to, that's fine. Oh, it smells beautiful. And I have got my tins here. Which I'm going to line up. And I'm going to add 10 tablespoons of rapeseed oil, and also use that to just on my parchment, which is greaseproof paper. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's no butter. 8, 9, 10. No butter. That's the rapeseed is the good fat. And look at the color. It's beautiful. बहुत संगतां कह रही सी कि सानू eggless cake दिखाओ किस तरह बनाईदा, because it's a huge problem. There's hidden egg white products. So I'm going to quickly put some grease on my paper, which should be that sometimes ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਜੇ ਰਿੰਗ ਹੈਗਾ ਜਾਂ ਬੇਕਿੰਗ ਟਰੇ ਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕਿ ਉਹਦੇ ਥੱਲੇ collapsible ਹੁੰਦਾ ਖੁੱਲ ਜਾਂਦਾ, even that's very handy. However ਮੇਰੇ ਕੋਲ ਹੈਗੇ ਨੇ, but that was only not the correct size. So I do like these very old baking trays of mine. And that's like a perfect fit. And then again I will just do the same here. And my mix is ready to go into the oven. ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ 10 ਮਿੰਟ ਤੇ 180 ਡਿਗਰੀ ਤੇ ਕਰਨਾ, and then bring it down for another 10-15 minutes down to 160. And then the best way to check कि cake बन गया is just to put a knife inside to check कि knife dry हो गया. Different ovens sometimes can give you different times of cooking. I'm just going to get some air into the whole thing and pour it down. And into my second tray. And that's a perfect mix for 2 trays. Both things will go into my oven. I'm hoping that I can put them both on the same tier to get even cooking. So I'm in my oven here, and I won't be able to do that, so I'm going to put it top and bottom. And midway If I have to, I'll swap it over. So I'm going to time myself that at 180 degrees, I'm going to cook it for about 10 minutes, bring it down to 160 for another 10 minutes, and I've got a wonderful cake. But between that time, I'm still very busy, stay tuned, and I'm going to make the base. The base is going to be some very good whipping cream, which goes into my nice big bowl. I'm going to give it a good whip to make the base of the center bit of the cake, to which I'm going to add sifted, matlab chhaniya hoya, cocoa powder, 2 tablespoons of that, and I'm going to use chocolate, which is fine cooking dark chocolate. Look at that color, beautiful. So I hope I can find my grater. If you don't have a grater, I have another choice, which is what? I'm going to shave it. So I'm just going to do this. Always be accommodative, you know, with things in life. Nahi hai gya. Is it doing a better job actually than a grater? And that's pure dark chocolate. And just in my cream, I need to whip it, so it's going to, my kitchen is going to get a bit noisy now. And I'm going to add, that's the brown sugar, demerara sugar, which I've used in the cake. Make note, I do not use white sugar in my cooking, so I condone it big time. Other option is use agave syrup in this place, but mainu time nahi milya siga, frankly, to get to a store, because I just came back from healthy cooking show at midnight, 12:30, and I'm here today. Okay, so this is going to be a bit of a noisy time. So I'm going to stop now. So here it is. This is ready. Because the cream is not dropping, that means it's ready. It's amazing color. Look at that. The flavor would be amazing. मैं तो लगता birthday तो पहले ही साढ़े तो खा जाना. Sorry, जिन्हें मुंडे दा birthday आ, I don't think ये cake जाएगा अद्धा भी. असी पहले ही इन्हू hijack कर लेना. आशीर्वाद दवांगे कि बच्चा सिख चैनल सेवा करता रहे ऐसे ही तरह. पर वाहिगुरू कृपा करे कि इनू छेती उठाया करे सवेरे सवेरे इशनान करके ते सुच्चे कपड़े पा के ते पाठ पूजा विचार के छेती पहुंचा करे. जो भी प्रोजेक्ट असी दिन्ने आ ते ए डार्क चॉकलेट दा इनू बहुत फायदा होना संगतों. सो दिस इज रेडी. ब्यूटीफुल क्रीम. कोई बच्चा हुंदा तो कहेगा कैन आई टेस्ट इट मम. So while I'm going to be waiting for my cake to finish or rise, I'm going to drop the temperature down for another 10 minutes, and it's ready to go on to my display. Slap in the cream, dress it up with some raw chocolate, and that's my beautiful cake. देखते जाओ. जब तक मेरा cake बन रहा है, I'm just going to get my things ready, which is on which I'm going to keep a cake, because again, decoration is important. I've got my 2 boards just to get the cake to cool down, and I've got my spatula to actually just coat the fresh cream on it. Obviously, cooling process तो चाहिए या cake नू है ना, before we can dress it up. 20 minutes and down to 160 degrees, sometimes 150 depending किस तरह दा थोड़ा oven है. I can see my cake rising and I think it's ready. What's the secret? Let me tell you. किद्दां पता करीदा कि cake थोड़ा तैयार हैगा. I'm going to use a knife. जिस knife सुक्का आएगा from the oven, that means my cake is ready to come out. नहीं तो कई बारी a few more minutes. So थल्ले दी tray कढ़िया, and if you see, it was a runny cake and it's down to a dry knife. ऐसे तरह that's perfect. Okay, cake ready to come out. Back on the cooling track. Oven बंद करो. And just going to give it a bit of a swirl. As the cake starts cooling, you will see कि छुट्टन ला पैना ओदियां साइडां तो baking tray दी साइडां तो. We got a lot of hungry horses waiting for the cake. I shan't name them. These are my 30-year-old baking trays. Some things every banda le lenda, you know, and they're like a lifetime investment, you know. So what I've got 2 platters ready. You'd wonder why kyun ithe rakhiyan hoiyan. Basically, I'm going to put each one of the cakes on these platters, and I'm going to turn them upside down and get my cake out. And the second one, upside down, and I get my cake out. And जिन्हां कोल दंद भी नहीं हैगे वो भी ये केक खा सकेंगे. It's so beautiful because it's soft. So I'm just going to be a bit gentle. It is warm, so I don't want to lose too much of the cake, and I'm going to try to remove the parchment. ਜਾਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆਪਾਂ grease proof paper. So there it is coming off. Just trying to make sure कि cake ਨਾਲ and that was no butter cake, Santo. You can see it's very, very warm. If you'd like to eat it on its own, just like that, then that's also good. There you are. Onu thode ek minute extra mil gaya, and it's amazing how it just comes out. So basically, apna cake is ready to be dressed up. I'm going to take it onto my whatever you have, a rotating casserole or something straight, or you need something more exciting, koi clear thanu panda chahida, that's okay as well. I can even leave it on this board. I think I'll be happier to leave it on this board. So what I'm going to do is now, ਜਿਹੜੀ ਕਿ whip ਕੀਤੀ ਸੀਗੀ ਆਪਾਂ cream with cocoa, and I've put in some fresh shavings of raw chocolate. ਇਹਨੂੰ ਮੈਂ splash ਕਰ ਦੇਣਾ generously. You cannot beat this recipe. ਕਿਤੇ ਵੀ town ਚ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਇਹ recipe ਨਹੀਂ ਮਿਲੇਗੀ. So I'm going to make half of this dressing, topping the baki मैं रखनी to top it up on my cake. ठीक है जी? Very, very, very cautiously bring it on the top of your other cake. Press it down. Make it a bit tidy here. Surface har vele tidy rakho. Splash in the rest of the cream with cocoa and start spreading it around. Sorry about the background noise, just trying to get the last bits out so I can make sure that the cake is all generously covered. You can take it on the sides if you so wish. Sometimes time doesn't allow us to do so much detail perfection. Creativity and cooking is your own way of doing what you want to, modify it, make it different, make it better. Share the recipe with me and say this is what you did. one better. I'll be happy to look at it and applaud you, pat you on your back. Tika, I'm happy with this, and I'm just going to put the shavings on top now, the remainder, just to make it look really nice. As you wish, but I'm going to start from the middle and just drop them on different points instead of just dolloping it. And that's my beautiful, healthy concept of fat-free cake with beautiful amount of anything else. You can just dollop it around and dress it up. And that's my healthy concept. If I give a good clean up so we can get a good close up. And that's the healthy concept of a cocoa fatless or bad fattening. It's actually rapeseed oil, and I hope you will enjoy it, which is really amazing because it is black chocolate. It is not the chocolate that our whole generation is racing for, and I hope you like this concept. We're going to share it later on, and it's a mouth-watering cake. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.